Today, we are reacting to the entire history of Clash Royale. Let's go.
Clash Royale turns 9 today, or should I call it Wizard Arena Clash of Clans, which is what it was called before it was launched. Today, we're going down
Wizard Arena? That sounds like the lamest game ever.
memory lane and taking a look at the entire history of Clash Royale. It all started in January 4, 2016, where it was soft launched on iOS and a few select countries. This version of Clash Royale was pretty bare bones and weird, like for
What do you even call it, bro?
example, you could purchase 3 of the 4 chests in the game. There were 7 arenas, 42
Only
cards,
7?
14 for each rarity, common, rare, and epic, and you had to pay gold to start a battle. But this was removed only a month later. In that same update, we got a new legendary arena, which subsequently added seasons to the game, where players would reset back to the same trophies every month, and the rest would be given back as legend trophies. Later that month, we got 4 new cards,
So this is the first 2 legendaries.
including a new rarity, legendary, a new arena, builder's workshop, 2 new chests, and finally had the ability to save more than 1 deck. Prior to this update,
That would be so annoying, just having to make a new deck every time.
you would have to change your deck every time you wanted to use a different one. The struggle was real. On March 2nd, 2016, the game was globally launched, so now everyone could play. And a little over a month later, we got 6 new cards. Supercell was pumping these out like there was no tomorrow. Like later that summer, they would add 2 more legendaries. We were eating pretty good. During that
Dude, that's so much cards, because now they barely add cards. They add cards like once at a time now. Not like multiple. Maybe like Berserker Arena, you know.
time, we would also get tournaments, and I remember the hype around this, the highest tournament costing 250,000 gems. It was absolutely nuts.
Is that real? Is that real? 250,000 gems.
Moving on to September, we got a ton of stuff, like 4 new cards, you could now mute emotes, which was a big deal at the time. The Grand Challenge and Classic Challenge were added, and 2 new chests, Legendary and Epic. But that's not all. In November, we got 4 more cards, and in December, you guessed it, another 4 cards. But before we wrap up 2016, in that same update, we could finally request Epic cards every Sunday, and clans got a new event.
They're just
the
cranking
Clan
out
Chest,
cards.
which was essentially where players got crowns, and as a clan you would work toward a big chest that you could all open for some pretty sweet rewards. Now we're in 2017, and in March, trophy leagues were added to the game. Prior to this update, a player after 4,000 trophies was in one giant pool of players. However, leagues made it so that there was subdivisions to Legendary Arena that determined what draft chests you got at season reset as well, which was a new chest, by the way. This was also the update in which 2v2 was added in the form of a special event for the clan chest.
They always get rid of
called
2v2 now,
Clan
just keep it,
Battles.
please,
Yeah,
Supercell.
2v2 was only a temporary game mode that you could play like every other week. Aside from that, 4 new cards were announced, and an additional 4 were announced later in June of that year. The June update was pretty big, by the way. It added unique challenges for the first time ever, like Triple Elixir, Sudden Death, and Ramp Up, and some pretty sweet quality of life changes, like more deck slots, copying decks, and adding friends. Which couldn't have come at a better time, because in August, 2v2 was made a permanent mode. Probably my favorite part about 2017. In October, quests were added, which were exactly what it sounds like. Complete a challenge and get a reward. Simple as that. And a new game mode, Touchdown, which will reappear throughout the years, especially during Super Bowls. And at last, the December update introduced a brand new arena with 4 new cards and 4 new chests, the Lightning, Fortune, Kings, and the Legendary Kings. Overall, a solid year. Moving into 2018, things were pretty slow at first, but behind the scenes, developers were at work with one of the biggest and greatest updates of all times, the Rascals. Not really, Clan Wars. The first iteration of Clan Wars added in April 2018 was simple. In Preparation Day, you and your clan played matches of different game modes to level up your clan cards for War Day, where you went head to head with other clans. It was pretty fun, and it kept everyone busy until that summer in June, where 3 new cards were announced alongside emotes. Finally, other emotes other than the 4 that we were stuck with up to this point. This was also the update that changed matches to have a 3-minute sudden death rather than the previous 60 seconds, meaning intense battles could go on for much longer. 2 new cards were announced in September, and in November, trade tokens were added. Finally, a way to trade cards in a game all about cards. In this update, there was also a change to the leveling system. Prior to this, you may have noticed that cards had traditional levels like 1, 2, 3, and would max at a certain level. However, this update made it so that all cards maxed at the same level. So the max at the time was 13, so all cards would max at level 13. Probably one of my favorite features of 2018 had to be star levels added in December. At the time, and for a while, you had to have max cards first. But free skins, I'm all for it. Before we wrap up 2018, some notable changes in this update. The Super Magical Chest was replaced with the Mega Lightning Chest. We got achievement badges in profiles, and legend trophies were removed, so they no longer accumulated after the season reset. But players were compensated for those trophies, including an exclusive emote, which is now one of the most rare in the game. We are now in 2019, and after a new spooky arena in January, we got a new card in February, the Wallbreakers. But on April, we got another classic update, Trophy Road. Finally, a real reason to push trophies. Aside from that, 2 new cards were announced and a much needed home screen refresh that gave the game a new feel. Later that summer in July was the first Pass Royale season.
The best card in the game.
Coming in at $5, what a steal. Seasons, much like today, introduced a new theme, tower skin, emotes, and sometimes new cards. In this case, it was the Fisherman, and often new game modes every single month. Toward the end of September, we would get the party button. You would basically click on it, and there you could select which game mode you wanted to play. Not a massive update, but we got other cool stuff like a tiebreaker system and new events that would show up every now and then, like the Crown and Gem Rush. In October, we got the Elixir Golem as well as bonus bank to the end of Pass Royale. And in November, we saw an important change to matches. They were cut down to 5 minutes rather than 6, so shorter matches, but the last minute was made triple elixir, so it was actually better and more chaotic. We also got a refresh to the card info screen, an update that nobody asked for but we all needed. And in December, the card level boost was added, which would have different cards boosted to max level every season. Now we're in 2020, which started off with some new cards. The Firecracker, Royal Delivery, the Heal spell was swapped out for the Heal Spirit, RIP, and the Skeleton Dragons. And in August, Clan Wars 2.0 would be released, a complete overhaul to the Clan Wars feature, which subsequently removed quests from the game. And there were also other changes like deck sharing, a new...
Hold up. Come back. Oh, I just restarted the whole freaking thing. Hold up. L. You know.
A complete overhaul to the Clan Wars feature, which subsequently removed quests from the game. And there were also...
Look at that smirk. Look at it. Look at it.
Other changes like deck sharing, a new trader, and the video tab. After a lot of Clan War bug fixes and improvements, we got the Electro Giant later in October.
It's not the Electro Giant.
And the Mother Witch.
Who's that, bro?
That December. Overall, 2020 had quite a bit of cards added and a not so great Clan Wars revision. But maybe 2021 was better because in March we got...
They didn't have these till 2021? Dang, bro. These are really... Magic items are so important now. Dude, this is how I upgrade my cards. Like...
Magic items, which changed the game drastically. And in June, we got the Goblin Drill and a brand new gold crate that would come in 3 different sizes with varying gold. Moving on to October, level...
Gosh, that's scary. Jump scare.
14 was added.
Put a warning
so
first,
the King
please.
Tower and cards could go up to that level. And along with that, there were many changes throughout the game. Like you could now unlock star levels without needing max cards. They added a King's Journey, which is basically a trophy road before your level. And champions, 3 of them actually. The first new rarity since 2016. But yeah, just like that, 2021 came and went. There wasn't much content, but what we got was some of Supercell's best work. Now we're at 2022, and let's start with temporary cards. That February, we would get the first of these, the Super Lava Hound. I'm only going to be mentioning this one. I just thought it was worth mentioning that this is when they started. In March, we would get another champion, the Mighty Miner, but that was the least exciting thing because the badge system was reworked. So now badges had levels or tiers, and card masteries were introduced. Basically, achievements for every one of your cards. Later that summer, we would get Battle Banners, which was accompanied by a profile redesign.
I did not know they had those in 2022. I have the Mega Knight drinking coffee banner.
Finally, you could spruce up your profile with these little backgrounds, decorations, and your...
Yeah, you saw
own
it.
badges.
I know you did.
And in October, we got the King level rework. Your level could now go up to level 50 compared to the previous 14
Wait,
levels. Now, this was only a change to the player's level, essentially. They also added 6 new arenas to Ladder, which was now known as Trophy Road, because they added a separate competitive track called Path of Legends. But that's not all. We also got Daily Task, the Hoggy Bank, a Deck Explorer, a new chest, the Champion's Chest, Champion Wildcard, and 2 new cards, the Monk and Phoenix. Finally, for 2022, the year wrapped up with an emote management, because there was way too many of them, and a new magic item, the Card Boost Potion. In 2023, after several...
What's that? That looked like someone, but I can't say. I don't know who. It just reminded me of someone.
Several temporary cards and the usual season shenanigans, in March, they introduced the new season shop, as well as season...
Bring it back, please!
Tokens, a new currency. This was to go alongside the new event tab, which was basically to put anything that wasn't Trophy Road or Path of Legends in its own separate corner. And you could earn currency and buy stuff there. This was also the update in which they revamped the season pass, adding an additional tier, Diamond. Everyone loved this update. Let's move on to card evolutions added that June. First, level 15 was added, known as Elite Levels, and evolutions, new upgrades for existing cards that made them different. You would need a new currency called shards to proceed with the upgrade. I'm not going to be mentioning the evolutions they've added, as they're just another variant of existing cards, and they've added them like every season, so there's a lot of them. In October of that year, although this is not really an update, the soft launch on Windows would begin, so you could finally play on PC, and a few months later it would be available for everyone. Also in October, we got an overhaul to Training Camp. You can now practice against the bot with a deck that you previously faced, so you could really learn to defeat a deck that shredded you, and in the process, accidentally become a mid-ladder menace. Also in that update, we got the Little Prince with many voice
Oh, Guardian. That's who I am.
lines that are beloved among the community.
Future King over here.
And in December, they would update some UI elements. This included tower troops, so although there wasn't none yet, they updated the UI for that. And they overhauled the deck screen to organize
that's better. I have.
Organize your inventory a little better, like your cards, your notes, magic items, tower skins, everything. 2024 started out with a brand new tower Cannoneer. I'll only mention the first one to keep it rolling here.
I still think the best one is just the regular princesses.
Much like many other features in the game, there's just a lot of them. Couple months later, we got Daily Task and the Mystery Box. We already had Daily Task, but
guys, do you guys like chess or Mystery Box better? Be honest. I don't know. Like, I like chess with Mystery Box. Not that bad.
They just changed it a little bit. And a Mystery Box is a box where its contents are a mystery.
No way.
The first time in a while, we also got a new spell that May, the Void Spell. And in June, they introduced the Goblin Queen's Journey. This was a temporary game mode, or was it supposed to be permanent? I don't know. Where you play and earn rewards. But the difference between this and the regular season special event is that this came with 2 new and permanent cards and a spell. And it also had its own trophies and arenas. It's kind of like they added a story mode, but temporarily. They would add more stuff to it, including another card, the Suspicious Bush in July, and the Goblin Steen in October. But yeah, other than balancing and reworking some existing features like the Mystery Box, that is everything that was added in 2024, and that also concludes this video. At the time of recording this, the Q4 update,
he needs to make an update version. Actually, not really. He's only 25.
Mostly just a new tower troop was the last thing we got. Yeah, that is the entire history.
Yo, you guys like that vid? Yeah, I figured it's pretty good.
Upgrade to the new Galaxy.
Yo, thanks for watching.